When you're fishing in the grass, and you see a blowhole in the grass or something, a blowhole, something's done there, that usually means that a bass has fed on a bluegill. And so usually he's right there close by. Do not pass up a single one of them. Always make sure you throw in there. Here's another little tip. I'd make sure that I make multiple casts into that. We'll talk about that later. Good morning, guys and girls. July 31. I want you to look in our Catch a Better Life book at that picture right there. That's for August. And that looks like a summer morning. You see how green all the trees are. Now it looks like it's up north, maybe Canada or northern Minnesota or something. But look at that picture right there. Oh my gosh, would you love to be there right now? Especially since it does look like it's up north in the mountains, maybe Canada, Alaska. Ooh, I don't necessarily need to be in Alaska, but I'd like to be in Canada. I'd like to be in Canada. Ooh, these 100-degree days that we've been having day after day after day after day. 1 Timothy 6:10 is today's verse. The love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. The love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. My granddaughter Jordan, she's got her own devotional channel, by the way, that you can look at it on YouTube. She doesn't post a devotion every day. She posts this one about once every 3 or 4 days. We post this from my Catch a Better Life at 5 o'clock every morning Central Time. 5 o'clock every morning Central Time. She calls her channel Next Gen, like the next generation. My granddaughter Jordan says that money can't buy happiness, but it sure can buy lots of fishing and hunting stuff that can make you happy. She's right about that. Chris has often said that we have so much fishing tackle that it's sinful. I'm sure she is probably right. Thank goodness that God forgives. Thank goodness. Having money and making money is not a sin. You hear me? Having money, making money is not a sin. It's a gift from God. God creates wealth. You know, if we look at some of the most revered names in the Bible, we find that one of the things that God did, and these are individuals that had God in their heart, individuals that put God first in everything that they did, individuals that were obedient to God. They were all pretty much fantastically wealthy. We think about King Solomon, maybe the richest person that's ever lived. He didn't even ask for wealth. He asked for discernment, wisdom, and knowledge where he could govern God's people. He didn't say my people, my subjects. He said, I want to govern this great people of yours. How can I do that? I got to have more wisdom. I got to have more knowledge. I have more understanding. So I'm asking you for that wisdom. And God came back to Solomon and he said, I'll give that to you. I'll do that. But since you did not ask for money or long life, I'm going to give you both those two. And he made him the richest person probably that's ever lived. The richest one that's ever lived, maybe. And, King David, his father, extremely wealthy, ended up before he died donating all of his personal gold and silver and treasures to building God's house. He donated them all to the Lord. You look way back. You go way back. Abraham, when God asked Abraham to leave and go to the new territory, the new land that God was going to give him, he blessed Abraham with so much wealth it was amazing. And Abraham left with almost nothing, just his family. And he didn't even have any kids at that time, just basically his wife and a few goats and sheep and camels and stuff like that, and God blessed him. God blessed him. Even Job, we hear about Job. How bad Job? Oh, poor old Job. And it was true. Lost everything, but yet he ended up twice as wealthy as he ever was. So God creates wealth. It's the love of money that creates a problem, as today's verse says. This chapter goes on to condemn greed. That's right, greed, which will cause us much sorrow, much pain. The trick here is to make sure that we are pursuing things of God and we're not pursuing money. When we actively pursue what God wants in our lives, He'll reward us with wealth in many, many forms. That form may be money. It may be the folding. My money doesn't jiggle, it folds. It might be that. It might be a great family. It might be a beautiful wife and wonderful kids. It might be a good job that you're just so happy to get up and go to work for every day. It might be rewarding you with a life of fishing for a living. That's right. It doesn't have to be money all the time. It's wealth. It's easy to put money above God in our lives. Guys and girls, take that statement right there and think about it often, because it's so easy to fall into that trap. One thing is certain. When we keep God first, when we honor God in everything we do, when we keep Him first in our lives, He will always provide more than we need. That's the deal right there. We keep God first. We may not become fantastically wealthy. I got a lot of friends that's really wealthy, but we may not become fantastically wealthy dollar and cent wise, but He will always provide more than what we need. It's one of God's promises. Our tip for today, a blowhole, which is looking at grass and seeing where something's blown up in the middle of it, called a blowhole in grass, usually means that a bass has recently fed on a bluegill. That's right. Recently fed on a bluegill because the hole hasn't filled back in. That bass is probably right there close by. May not be, but he's probably right there. And if he is, you fish in that hole in that grass and you got a really good chance to catch him. I'd do a couple things in that situation. I would bring some bait over the top, like a frog or a spoon or something like that, or a worm dragging across the top of it. It's got a big wiggly tail on it. I'd do that, and then I would flip down inside that hole, get something down inside that hole that the bass can see if he's not willing to come up through that hole and eat something. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. And remember, I sure do love you.